there, it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts again. Sorry I've not been around for a while. Life has just been getting on top of me, as is often the case. Anyway, today I am going to make a thank you card. I'm using the One Big Meaning stamp set. This is in the 2016-2017 catalogue and is carrying over into the 2017-2018 catalogue. So it's a good one to get. It's available in clear mount or wood mount. This is the clear mount version, and this is the card that we're going to make. So this is a multicoloured, multi-thank you'd card, and today I am going to make the same sort of card but using all the new in colours. So powder pink, lemon lime twist, fresh fig, tranquil tide and berry burst. And I am making it on a berry burst base. So this is a standard piece of A4 cut in half, scored down the middle. So it's cut in half to A5, scored down the middle and then folded in half. Then I have my standard first layer mat, which is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, which is 14 1/4 by 9 3/4 centimetres. Dimensions will be on my blog, and the associated post is linked below. Then for the thank you, and I'm actually going to use the thank you for everything and more this time. So I've got a small piece of Whisper White, and this is 7/8 by 3 1/8. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be, even on camera, be able to stamp on that. And that is 2 1/4 by 8 centimetres, roughly. And this is 1 by 3 1/4, which is 2 1/2 by 8 1/4 centimetres. But as I say, dimensions will be on the associated blog post linked below. Now, on the basis that it's always good to get the things that you're worried about out of the way first, I am going to stamp the thank you for everything and more. And although I'm using Berry Burst as the colour, the background colour, I'm actually going to use Lemon Lime Twist to stamp this. So tap, tap, tap. Just make sure that it's properly inked, and then the joy of doing this is, at least if it's upside down, it doesn't matter because I can turn it over. Yay! So let's see if I manage to get that. Oh, and as I say, it doesn't matter if it's upside down because I can turn it over. Anyway, so that's that done, which is good. So that's a relief to get that out of the way. I will leave that open because I'll be using it in a minute. And then this I will, once it's fully dry, I will stick onto the little mat. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to be stamping off and putting my finger in the lemon lime twist apparently. So the key to doing something like this is to do the bigger stamps first, because it's easier to fill in with small stamps than it is to fill in with big ones. So I'm going to start with the one tiny word with one big meaning, thanks. And I'm going to do that in lemon lime twist, and making sure that I have got it the right way up, because it doesn't matter with the first one, but everything else it will matter. And I'm going to do some of them at a slight off central angle. And again, if you do things intentionally off center or off straight, then it doesn't look like it's a mistake. So always a good one to remember. I'm going to do that same stamp again in the fresh fig, and this time I'm just going to have it up here, and there really is no rhyme or reason where I'm putting things. I'm just going with the flow because that's a good thing to do. So I'll finish with that one. So I'll pop that one away, and I shall pull out another big one. So I'll pull out this one, which is the You Are Too Kind, thank you. And I'll pull out the powder pink. So I am sure you are getting very excited about the new catalogue. There is a lot of it about. we are all getting very excited to pick out some new stuff. Demonstrators get to pre-order some things, but not everything. So it's exciting for us as well. So this is the Berry Burst, and it's worth bearing in mind that some of these are not meant to stamp completely solid. So they're a bit what I always refer to as newsprinty, and this is one of those. So the fact that there are the odd gaps is not a problem with my stamping. It's an intention with the, I don't know why I've closed that because I'm going to need it again. It's an intention with the stamp. So I think we've done enough of that one. So pop that away. The next sort of largest is the Thanks Kindly, which again I'm going to put a skew on the block because I can put it askew on the card as well. So this is the Tranquil Tide, and again I'm going to deliberately go off the edge. And let's see, I will have a bit more Berry Burst, I think. And we'll come here. So got enough of that one. Oops, enough of that one, I think. Ooh, pop that into the ink pad, which is never a good look when you then pick it up. So we've then got this, which is Thank You from All of Us. So I think probably a bit more lemon lime, and that will fit nicely up there. And then some fresh fig, and we'll come in there, I think. So I have to say I have got an incredibly long wish list of things that I want off the new catalogue. Unfortunately, my pockets are not quite that deep, so it's going to be a long list of things that one day I might be able to get. But hey, that's part of the fun, so that's never a bad thing to have to wait a bit. Make sure I've got this one the right way up. I haven't had any powder pink for a while, so let's do some powder pink. Sorry, that's me stretching way over to the powder pink ink pad, which is very rude of me to stretch across the camera. Right, so that's those, and then I've got this teeny weeny one. Actually, I could probably, yeah, come in here with this one, which is the Thank You for Everything and More. And yeah, so Tranquil Tide, and I've deliberately not inked the whole stamp because I know I'm stamping off. So I can now come in with my little one, which is a Little Thanks, which seems appropriate, and just fill in some of the gaps. So powder pink, let's make sure I've got it the right way up. So it's Tranquil Tide down here, and I think also up here. In fact, I might come here, and I think that's fine. So let's clear these away before I end up putting my fist in them, because that really would be a shame. And I think there's nothing worse than seeing open ink pads lying about. So we won't have them. Right, so I can remove the scrap piece and start layering. So let's bring back in our little piece here. So I will take a bit of snail for that, because it doesn't need to take much in the way of weight. So I'm just going to run a bit of snail across the back. I will make sure that it's well snailed. And then pop that on They're preferably square. There we go. And then bring this back in. So this will then mat quite nicely on there. I've got my favourite glue. Anyone who has watched me for any length of time at all knows that I do like my glue, particularly when it's working. So, okay, it's not playing today, so rather than, actually I might have a spare here, and I do. So here's another one. Yay, there we go. I do tend to keep these so they are point sized down, so that I know that if there is glue in them, it's going to be there. And the reason I like the wet glue is because it does give you that bit of wiggle room just to make sure that everything is where you want it before you press it down. But, and again, for those of you who are new to my channel, less is more. And the key really is to take the point and to run it over the card, not to dribble it from a height. But you really do not need much. It's a very good glue. This is not one of those glues that you buy by the pint that costs you nothing at all. The reason you buy it by the pint is because it's not very good, and because it's not very good, it's mostly water. So all it actually achieves is getting your card to be too wet, and then it rumples the card and spoils the look. So as you've put effort into making your card, it would be a shame to use a poor quality glue, really. So pop that there. There you are. 2 thank you cards, and bearing in mind we're coming to the end of school term, hopefully that's given you some ideas of thank yous for teachers and that sort of thing. I'm going to be bringing some more little projects this week for teachers type gifts. Relatively low cost, but things you can make quickly and easily. So I hope to see you again to see some of those. If you want to subscribe, please click on my face, which will be over there in a minute if it's not there already. If you need any of the supplies, which will be listed on my blog, which, as I say, the associated post is below, then jump over to that. There's also a link to my online store in the information below, and you need to just click on there'll be below the video on YouTube, there'll be a little thing that says more and a down arrow, and if you click on that, all the information's there. Information about how to join up, and remember that the joining deal, which is always a brilliant deal, for £99 you get to pick £130 worth of product, your choice of product, and there's no postage and packing. You will get catalogues, and they'll obviously be the new catalogue, and order forms, and etc, etc. And then anything you buy after that, you will get at a discount, which is always brilliant. Who doesn't want to buy crafty goods at a discount? And if you want to turn it into a business, then that's brilliant. Obviously, we would love that. But if you just want to fund your own hobby, then that's good too. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Give it a thumbs up if you did. As I say, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks a lot.